What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video on the SharpDiv YouTube channel. In this video today, I'm going to be saying the top 5 players that I would like to see play at Rangers that are currently playing at other teams in the Spfl. However, in this video, we're not going to mention any Celtic players purely for the fact that it would be unrealistic for a Celtic player to make the switch to Rangers in this summer transfer window. We've seen it happen before with Kenny and others, but it's never really happened directly from Celtic to Rangers or Rangers to Celtic, as far as I'm aware. So let's get straight into the video. Before we continue in this video, if you could smack that like button, I would be greatly appreciative. Simple fact is, YouTube are doing this stupid thing in which if your video doesn't get that many likes, then your video is not going to pop up to your subs. And I spoke about this in a video the other day as well, and you guys absolutely smashed that like button, and I think we got over 500 likes. So in this video, if we could match that, that would be absolutely fucking mental. In number 5 is going to be a guy from a great defence that play in the SPFL, and it's Hearts defender John Souttar. Souttar has played for Scotland in all age groups up until the under 21 level, and that is about the age that he is right now. He's a young and I would say experienced in the league player. He played for Dundee United for several seasons before making the switch to Hearts, and ever since he's been a prominent fixture in their starting 11. They're a top 6 side, and he genuinely does show great characteristics, I think, that would suit our defence. Defence is a positional hazard for Rangers right now. The centre back position especially. In this summer transfer window, I think that this should be an area that we are focusing on a lot. After all, last season in the 2017-18 season, Rangers scored the most goals in the league. Believe it or not, even with a guy like Alfredo Morelos up front, who started the season on fire but ended it pretty miserably. He was our top goal scorer, him and Windass, and we were still top goal scorers in the league, which is mental. However, it was in defence that we were dramatically let down by our defenders. I thought that over the course of the season, Bates was probably our best defender in centre back position, and you wouldn't have thought that at the start of the season. That would have probably been the last guy on your list. Fabio Cardozo is on mad wages at the club and just hasn't performed. When he gets his opportunity, he's done rotten, especially in the Old Firm game when he came off the bench for Bates and we were defeated 3-2. We've also got Bruno Alves, a guy that has played in a shit team last season. Can he perform better next season? There's another year added on to his career. His legs are going to get heavier. For what I saw, I seen great characteristics of a good centre-back. A guy that obviously is coming to the end of his career, but he needs a young, experienced player beside him. Somebody with some legs. Somebody that has played in the league for several years, and Souttar could be that man. But he's at number 5. Coming in at number 4 in the list, it is a player that used to play for Rangers at youth level. We let him go in favour of Billy Gilmour, who's now went on to do absolutely amazing stuff. If you want me to do a video on Billy Gilmour, then hit that like button and let me know in the comments below. But it is the young player, 16 years of age, Harry Cochrane, that had an absolute barnstormer of a season in my opinion. He was part of the Hearts side that hammered Celtic 4-0. He absolutely bullied and played Scott Brown off the park, which doesn't happen often on these shows. It should happen more often, but it just simply doesn't. Cochrane was actually the player at 16 years of age that got in his face, bullied him, scored a goal in the match, and overall, over the whole course of the season, I think that he's had a fucking amazing season for a 16-year-old. 16? What were you doing at 16? Are you even 16 yet? I know what I was doing. I was in high school. Couldn't run the length of myself, and this boy's out there playing at Ibrox, playing at Parkhead, playing at Tynecastle regularly, and he doesn't look out of place. I would go as far as saying he is their best midfielder, and they've got some experienced faces in there. When I watch him play, a lot of the game goes through him. He's a tall lad, he's quick, he's good in the ball, and he's just an all-round great midfield player. The question would be, would he get right into that Rangers centre mid position? And he would definitely have a lot of competition, but I wouldn't put it past the guy. Being 16 years of age and doing what he's doing, he could definitely stake his claim, certainly in the matchday squad. Would he get into the first team? That is a question that is up for debate. Do you think Harry Cochrane could get into the Rangers first team? If you do, let me know in the comment section below. If you don't, also let me know how he doesn't deserve or couldn't get into the first team squad at Rangers. So number 3, who's number 3 in the list? I've compiled a wee list here. Coming in at number 3 is Northern Ireland international Jordan Jones. Every time that I've seen Jordan Jones play against Tav, he's ripped him a new. Finish the sentence. This is a guy that oozes confidence in the left midfield position. He plays superbly well every time he plays against us. And I think that that's what it's all about right now. We need to go into other squads, we need to take some of their best players and we need to try and make it work at Rangers. Some players that have had experience, and he is a player that is now playing at international level. You can't take that experience for granted. Yes, it may only be with small Northern Ireland, a team that have made more European competitions and more major competitions than Scotland in the last 20 years, but that experience can only help a player get better. Going away to great setups, playing against international players is only going to make this guy get better, and being under a manager like Steve Clark, I think that has helped his game improve immensely. They've gave him the confidence to roam about, do what he does best, and he's been creating a shit ton of goals for Kelly. He's been a vital player, if not the best player for Kelly last season, and I think that he would fit into the Rangers squad. Would he get in front of Jamie Murphy? That would be some healthy competition. Jamie Murphy, for me personally, is a player that is going to be a constant fixture in the team next season, and a lot of the play is going to go through him, down the flanks, etc. However, there's nothing wrong with having somebody in the squad that's going to be equally as good as him and try and challenge him. It always makes a player get better, and there's no doubt in my mind that Jones could come in and do a job for us at left midfield, considering how well he's done against us and how well he's done against other teams last season. We are getting to the business end now. We're into the top 2 players that I wish Rangers would sign in the summer transfer window that currently are playing in the Spfl. And I'm going to go with a Scotland international. He's just got called up recently. He plays with a team that have been relatively successful. More successful in terms of league standards in the last 2 years than Rangers, but second or first to finish last. However, this player is a great player for them, and it is Scott Mckenna. Scott Mckenna, I think, could grow into be a great centre back, and he could be the more experienced version of Suter right now. I think that he's a couple of levels in front of him. Obviously, the Scotland international call-ups reinstates that argument, and I think that he could also be a great partner for a guy like Bruno Alves, and that's if Big Bruno actually does play next year or is involved in the plans. If he's not involved in the plans, we could partner up Suter and Scott Mckenna, and I think that Scottish base and Scottish experience would do us the world a good, to be fair. There's a lot of mixed opinion on this guy Mckenna. From what I've saw, he's not performed the greatest, but I'm only going off performances versus Rangers, and most of the time when Aberdeen play Rangers, they completely freeze. Their arses go and they don't perform well. Is this a sign of things to come from a guy like Mckenna if he made the switch to Rangers and the constant pressures of win-win-win were put on him? Would this make him freeze? I don't know. You let me know again in the comments section below. Let me know if Scott Mckenna could be the answer to Rangers' defensive problems. Is he a step up from any of the centre backs we've had in recent times, like Danny Wilson, David Bates, Bruno Alves, Fabio Cardozo? Is he a better defender than them? Is he the answer to your problems? Hopefully he is, and hopefully we can get him. And it also weakens Aberdeen if we get a player like that. So I think that it would be a great investment to try and get his services at Ibrox. Okay, down to number 1. Drum roll please. Thank you very much, that will do. This is a player that I think has played the best against Rangers for another club. Some of the money that is being asked for the club for this player seems a wee bit obscene. However, he is a great talent. Again, he's a Scottish international. It's Hibs player John McGinn. John McGinn, for me, no doubt would improve the Rangers midfield. He's an all-round player. He looks like a leader on the park. He's in shape. He's a good shooter. he can score goals, he can set up goals, everything you want for a centre midfielder. If Neil Lennon is still in charge at Hibs, I don't think that this deal would ever go through. And I've also seen a lot of people say, oh, he wouldn't play for Rangers, he would only play for Celtic. Funnily enough, it was all Celtic fans that were saying this. So take from that what you will. Other people say, I don't want him playing for the club, he's fucking grand, I used to own Celtic. Or is that a myth? If it isn't a myth, who actually cares? I've not seen him say he prefers Celtic or he prefers Rangers. The only thing that matters for me is that when he's wearing this jersey, he performs for Glasgow Rangers and he does what he's been doing for Hibs, but he actually takes it up another few levels with better facilities, hopefully playing with better players and hopefully playing with a winning mindset team. John McGinn is a player that I think could completely change the outlook of our team in terms of going forward. I think that in the next 3 or 4 years he could develop into an absolutely sublime player. And you get a lot of bitter people that say he's no good, he's overrated and this and that, but let's look at his performances. His performances against Rangers I think have been second to none. His performances against Celtic have been even better. So Stevie G, John McGinn is the player at number 1 on this list, but is he number 1 on your list? Probably not. Probably doesn't even know who he is, to be fair. To end this video, I want to know your top 5 players that you would like to see from an SPFL club make the switch to Rangers, not including Celtic players because it's very unrealistic and it just never would happen. So get involved in the comment section below. I'm going to be uploading as regularly as possible. I'm taking YouTube very seriously. This is what I enjoy doing. It's my passion, telling stories, creating conversations, giving my opinion, hearing yours. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. And I'm out.